S Peopletainment, S People Talks. This is what we do every single week. Entrepreneur from around the world come on board with S People. They tell their journey. It's been started in the month of April. Um, we are proudly doing this and we will continue doing this. Because of this, I have learned so much about whoever I speak, okay? And the audience is you gonna learn from her like anything. So please be engaged, ask questions, and you can ask any questions because she's available for next 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes here, okay? So let me talk about this person. She is one of my childhood hero. I'll tell you again and again this because we grew up in a very small hometown, and whenever somebody come from America, correct, we always get that into, we always get, oh, somebody come from America, right? And that too, she brings gifts, she brings souvenir for you. That's excited more, right? I'll tell you my first time every experiences with everything. My first time experiences with laptop, I still remember. She bought laptop to hometown. I never seen a laptop before. She was the person introduced me to laptop, technical, digital, and everything. She was the only person. And second thing, to souvenirs, nail polish se leke, like she introduced me to all those souvenirs. And she talks about America with accent. We never seen that American accent, and I started in very early stage of my life. I started imitating whenever I go to my school and everything. So that's how I started imitating her. And she's not only these childhood memories she created within me, she put a seed within me. She's a leader even in childhood. Okay, I still remember she used to organize, it's like an annual day function. When we have an annual day function in our school, annual day function nadakulya. So that's how she also organized these kind of things. I have seen her working on it, arranging everything, organizing everything. So she is a leader since the very beginning. So that's the memory I have with her. And we grew apart. We grew apart. We were in touch, and she started working in Microsoft. And I also started working in IBM and everything. So that's how we kept in touch. She always inspired me at every stage of my life. Okay, so when she is a co-founder of Mama Bar, okay, Mama Bar USA. So we need to talk to her to understand. She is in a very comfortable position in Microsoft as a manager, and also she is doing a lot of meetings. Her day is full of mixed with meetings, technical team. She's building in AI. She's driving Tesla. She loves Elon Musk. That is also one of the match. Her whole family visited Tesla. So she has the same taste of mine, and maybe I have a same taste of her, and then I admire her in every way. She has a lovely two kids, and she started this entrepreneurship journey 3 years before. She co-founded Mama Bar, and then she encouraged all other mothers to come and part of it. Okay, so I'm going to ask her as much as questions possible for us today, and learn from her. Okay, her name is Aarthy Krishnan Longino. Welcome board, Aarthy. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to chat with you, and thank you for all that. I have such great memories of us growing up together as well. I'm so thrilled to be here and chat with you today.
Wow, amazing. Same Aarti, like same excitement, same kind of enthusiasm since the childhood. I have seen you, I think, in a different aspects. Nobody has seen you yet. I know your journey, and I know how you have grown all over the periods. Okay, so let's talk about why entrepreneurship. Aarti, you are a manager in Microsoft. It's a dream job for many people out there, even in USA, even in India. So you're in a very comfortable position. You had other responsibility also. You're a mother of two beautiful kids, and you're a wife, and you're a daughter, and you're a sister. So why Mama Bar? How Mama Bar come into the picture?
Yeah, absolutely. I think something you said really resonated with me. I think this yearning to do something starts when you're pretty young. And for me, I grew up, both of my parents actually, they have this entrepreneurial spirit, something about them, which is like, oh, take some risk, try this or try this. And they had this business interest. So I actually grew up, with exposure to that. And as I got older, it became, of course, like focus on education, get a job, get a stable job, financial independence and freedom. Financial freedom was very important to me. So for many years, my focus was on the education and, get into a day-to-day job. And Microsoft is a fantastic place. I think that I was able to find a lot of fulfillment at Microsoft, and I still do. But I still had this entrepreneurial kind of urge to try something.
Good.
And I went back to graduate school. You guys are probably hearing my kids, so this is a real work balance. I'll talk about a little bit more later in the background, but. I had that urge to just, if I were to fast forward 40 years and look back at my career and sort of the prime of my life, would I look back and regret not doing something that was taking a risk and trying to start a business and kind of fulfill that yearning I had since I was pretty young, right? To just go out there and take risk, because so many other parts of my life are pretty stable. And so I think that's definitely where it came from and has continues to be a part of my journey.
Okay, wow, amazing. So, I understand you wanted to take risk, and I have seen you since childhood. But why Mama Bar, and how this mold up, how this come into existence? Just because you're already mother of two kids, is that what inspired you? How the story of Mama Bar?
Yeah, it's interesting. So a lot of what I do, you touched on at Microsoft at work, is focused on solving problems through technology, thinking about people all the time. How can we make their lives better? How can we make their lives better? And working so hard at that. And then when I became a mother, I was, I think I was about 6 postpartum. So I had just had my daughter, my second baby. I was on maternity leave. I was sitting home alone, and it was just me and her. And I was like finding myself constantly hungry. I was so busy. I didn't have time to like cook myself a meal. I was always on the go, always taking care of her, and I was hungry, and I was looking for something like mom nutrition, right? Because I wasn't looking for sports nutrition. I wasn't looking for some, really low sugar, keto, CrossFit kind of nutrition. I was looking for, a food product that was like delicious and gave me nutrients for the stage of life I was in. And I looked online, and it wasn't there. There was nothing. And I was really kind of surprised. I was like, wait, what is the industry ignoring is this huge segment of women and mothers, this product doesn't exist. And I started to do more research, and I reached out to a network in my mom community, and I got connected to Amy Kovner, who's now my co-founder. She is a prenatal and postpartum nutritionist and mental health counselor. She said, Aarthy, I hear this all the time from mothers that they are really busy, especially pregnant and new moms, and that this product doesn't exist. There isn't something that is really created with the nutritional profile for their life stage and their needs at the moment. And that is her specialty in terms of being a nutritionist, is to give guidance in that way. And she's like, I would love to create this product with you because this is about supporting mothers. So we came from a very like altruistic perspective. It wasn't about, I want to start a business because I want to make money. It was never about that. It was about, we want to start this business and make this product available because we truly believe that it will help women and mothers, because it's something that we have wanted ourselves and we have heard from so many others friends, clients, etc., that it's something that they would want. So I think that was a we went into it with it's not a necessarily a business is a business activity, but it is the goal is to really kind of change the narrative around motherhood and acknowledge this huge segment that was we felt like was being ignored.
Wow, fantastic. Mother of needs, mother of invention. Invention is all the need. Mother of invention is for the needs, for the demands. The personal thing which you have craved and you were looked for, and now today you have created a company called Mama Bar. That's absolutely stunning, with an intent of helping mothers. Okay, so this is happened 3 years before, correct?
Yes. So we started Mama Bar when my daughter was, yeah, she was literally, I think, about 6 or 7 weeks old is when I first met with Amy. It took us a while. Amy also has 3 kids. And when I met her, pregnant with twins. And so we were both, very busy women. Had a lot going on, but yes, the start of the journey was right. I can remember clearly because it's about the same age as my daughter.
Wow. So my next question is that only like already hands full, you and your co-founder. How did you find the time? And you have a job as well. You have a house to take care of it. And how did you find time? And women who are watching you in India, 2 kids, 3 kids, but still they're fully busy. They're not able to focus on business. So what is your advice for them? For India and USA both. So, what is your experience? What they should learn from you?
Yeah, I think a lot of women about this. So mentors who are in various stages in their own career. I'd say mentors across the tech industry who've seen great success, and also talking to women who are pretty early in their journey. And I think that wherever you are in your journey, whether you're married and you have kids, or you don't, or whatever the situation is, I think that there was a common theme around, if you fast forward 30 years, what are the things that you want to be true, right? And how can you find the help to help you get there? So a lot of it for me is identifying, there's certain goals I have for my family. There's certain goals I have at Microsoft, and certain goals for entrepreneurship. And it really comes down to sort of building a network around me, including my partner. My husband is, I would say, we are 50-50 in everything that we do. And it's not always natural, right? These things kind of like, there takes a lot of conversation of like, I'm going to do this, and can you do this, and how do you feel about this? So we talk a lot in our family about how we're constantly striking balance. Every day, I think. And so I think that, the partnership really matters. If you choose to be in a relationship and have a partner, that communication around balance, so that you can accomplish what you want for your family together, right? The load is not on the woman. And I think that women do carry a high mental load. That is certainly true for myself. But it's that we have this great tool of communication to be able to talk about uh, and negotiate, you do this, I do this, how do you feel about this, to get there. And at the end of the day, fast forward 30 years and say, yeah, we did this together, and I did this, these are the aspects that I did, and I feel very fulfilled. And also, it's, I think, outside of the partner, it's also thinking about childcare and who your children, as they go to school, or if they're in daycare or nanny, you feel like you are enriching their lives by having them spend time with grandparents, having them spend time with, for example, my son, our nanny. I hesitate to even call her our nanny. She was a dear friend. right? And I felt like my son's life was, and mine, frankly, was enriched by her presence, and she allowed me a little bit of time to do more. And, she's still one of my best friends. And so I think it's surrounding yourself with people that will enrich your life and all together, allow you to do more and allow you to do more together. And asking for help is not something that came natural to me. I spent the first 25 years of my life never wanting help. I wanted to do everything myself. And then I realized, oh, you can actually do a lot more when you have an amazing team, whether it be at work or in your personal life or in your business around you.
Wow, amazing. It's like you're starting from having a partner. You didn't say husband, you said partner. Okay, this is what offline I'm doing a discussion with my close circle. We need a partner either to build a family or either to build a business. So absolutely stunning, and you have a team at home as well. So that's what you learned from Microsoft, and you applied it same at home for your business as well. That's absolutely stunning, and that's what all the women should learn from their job and apply the same strategies in their business, even building a family. That's fantastic. Okay, so literally, Aarti, I'm so nervous. I don't know. I never nervous this much. Maybe I do. I know you more. My guest, I don't know the much. I don't know what's happening. I don't know whether it's should I call this nervous or excitement. I'm not sure about it. So on a fun part, I want to ask you this question. Do you still speak Tamil? Do you remember?
Konjo pesve, Anna, it's not good. That
Wow.
my husband was joking with me, actually. He was like, if you try to do this interview in Tamil, it will be a challenge. And so, that is one thing I have to say in terms of if I have anything I look back on as life regrets, I wish I had spent more time keeping my mother tongue. I actually learned to speak Tamil before I learned to speak English. I didn't learn English until I was 3.5. I think something very small, about three and a half. So Tamil is my first mother tongue. It's my first language, and that is one thing that I would love to recapture.
Wow, amazing. Okay. So listening to you talking in little Tamil is feeling good. Yeah. So next is let's come to a digital part. I want to talk about the challenges because you're a risk taker, you're a leader, you understand the teamwork. So how the pandemic treated you in your business, because it started 2 years before 2020. So the 20 how you treated 2020 during those COVID challenges, lockdowns, how your business affected or it went up. What's the story of 2020 in your entrepreneurship career?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So our plan before the pandemic, because we have a physical product, a food product, and both Amy and I were very convicted we would spend time in the community, talking to mothers, connecting with moms, sharing our product, letting them try it, creating like real human connection in person. That was before we launched, and then the pandemic started hitting us in February, March, and we were like, okay, we quickly have to change plans because we're not able to get out and talk to people and create that person connection. So we launched in July, fully online, so direct to consumer via our website. And what the pandemic did, it forced us to be a digitally native company. So we are everything that we do direct to consumer. We had to very quickly ramp on, how do we create connections with people if we can't see them in person? What does it mean to have a strong social media connection with our customers? And I say connection and not just presence. It's not just social media presence. It's about connection, because that became our avenue to get to know people and to listen to them and hear from them and to be there and to support them. And so a lot of what we do on social media was really around how can we help you and what do you think about our product? things that we would try to do, and obviously if we could see them and talk to them if we were there with them, has been centered around that. And so we've had to look at, what are the platforms that are available to us, with YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok is becoming big, all of these different platforms, and how can we make the most out of each platform? And that's been really exciting. It's been really fun. And I think that although it's been extremely challenging also, it's been a really good accelerator for us to maximize our digital connection and what we do online when we're not there face to face with our customers.
Okay, so COVID pushed Mama Bar to go into digitalized. That's amazing. So I can connect with that. We had to learn overnight about content, about how to put a videos, how to handle Facebook ads and everything. So we had to learn everything overnight because that's what pandemic does to business. Pushed us to go completely online without any face to face. So
Yeah.
did you face any challenge when you transformed to online, because this is heart to heart connections, healthy bar for a mothers, for a women. What are the challenges you faced during this transformation?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot about what it is about the brand that has been good for us. And Amy and I talked very early on about creating trust, and that was true pre-pandemic. But then with the pandemic, it really brought it to the forefront because these are pregnant women, these are new moms. Um, they want to be able to trust this product. Nutrition is something you really want high quality. Like, who's making this thing, right? It's feeding my baby. Who are these people? And so we work really hard on being authentic and talking a lot about what we put into our product, who we are, what is our standard for quality, what is high quality, what does it mean to us, so that we really try to put ourselves out there and be very authentic and open so that it creates that trust first, which creates connection, right? Those are very two related things. And I think the social media aspect of it as a channel to reach people, if you check out what we're doing on Instagram, for example, it's about authenticity. It's about acknowledging women in the stage that they're in because we have been there or we are there, right? And so I think that trust and transparency, certainly key in this pandemic because people are bombarded with so many things this year, right? And they need something where we felt like we could help them by being a trustworthy brand, really staying true to the standards that they expect.
Wow, fantastic. Because that's what even I believe. I talk to my team in here in India, Bangalore, like even in Delhi. So building a brand is very important. Building a trust. People can trust the brand, and the building that trust is not overnight process. It has to come from consistent work has to put in. So, can you teach us, or can you, from your journey, how do you build trust? Because the transformation happened from retail marketing to online, and then you are establishing yourself as a brand, and how you are building a trust. Because day before yesterday, I put a video also how to build a trust. So if they can hear it from American entrepreneurs, so maybe we can work it on it here as well, apply the same funda here as well.
Yeah, great question. I did a lot of research into other brands, like startup darlings, that had done this successfully, right? And so one of my big inspirations is Glossier. Glossier is a makeup company, right? Skincare makeup, started by Emily Weiss. So it is, it was just a few years ago, a brand new name, but what they were doing was selling makeup, but makeup already exists everywhere in the world, right? So what is it different about Glossier? And a lot of what they did was cultivate trust before they launched. You know, Emily Weiss had a blog where she talked a lot about um, makeup and brought her own opinions and thoughts to the table. So she built trust as a leader herself with her audience. But then what they did, which I thought was really fantastic and allowed them to scale that trust, right? Because I think that's where it comes in. It's not just about building trust with the founders. It's about building trust at scale. Is they did programs like Friend Buy, where actually a lot of other companies have started to do this, where it's people trust their friends, right? People trust your friends, and especially for women and new moms, we were always asking our friends like, oh, what product do you recommend? You know, what would be good for my baby? What would be good for me? And whatever they mentioned, it's I really trusted, right? And Amy had the same experience, and so the way that we think about scaling trust at Mama Bar too is as people become introduced to the product, they love it, they share it with their friends. And so we created referral programs similar to Glossier, similar to these other brands that are really scaling up quickly to be able to create that network of women. It just amplifies and it's organic, right? You aren't necessarily paying everybody to talk about and promote your product. People are doing that because they want to support other women. You can do it in a rewards program through these friend buy programs, but so there's some extra incentive. But really, the real incentive is about wanting to support your friends, feeling like you're giving high quality advice, you're talking about a high quality product, and it's very organic and it's more lasting that way.
Okay, so you talked about scaling, doing trustable in scaling level. Also, you talked about personal brand. Instead of selling the product alone, you were building the intent, why the product, that was a selling point, and that gives scale in the business as well. So amazing, fantastic. So the intent versus mechanism is always works. The intent behind the business is always works in any sector. That's your intent. Mama Bar's intent is like fantastic. You are making their life easy, their life, they don't have to go for, especially in American culture. In India, moms are there to help new women, new mom. You can eat this, you can eat this, and they can make everything. But US culture is completely different, and this Mama Bar is gonna make difference in every level. I'm sure about it. So my next question is like, are you going to franchisee to India as well? India, because India is the biggest market, and you are origin from India. So what about future of Mama Bar?
Oh, it's a great question. You know, India has got way such so inspiring to me, not only with Mama Bar, but I work in artificial intelligence at Microsoft, and we often, you know, look at what is happening in India. I mean, India is just inspirational. I mean, talk about scale, you know, just amazing how people come up with ideas and scale them and are creating products that solve real world problems. And so, yes, I think that maybe one day, you know, I think it's hard to beat mom's home cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think
you're gonna compete with every mom at in their own home.
exactly. And so I think that, you know, as we talk to a more global audience, and we're actually getting that signal. That is the other thing that pandemic, when you talk about pandemic has done, and being a digitally native company, is that you get customers from all over the world. And so we're learning about, you know, what value we can bring to different groups of women and mothers. So.
Fantastic. Looking forward, to you to come to India very soon, and globally taking to new level in global as well. So, what my next question is, how are your two kids? Because we are seeing them only online. Even I see their videos and everything. So, how are they taking? Because I know kids are intelligent. They are the intelligent, cutest little human beings exist. So, how they understood your business and your job, how they help you, and what is their thought process as a mother. If many mothers watching and will watch you, so what do you want to say, how one mother, handful mother should treat their kids?
Yeah. Gosh, yeah. So, my children are 5.5 and 2.5, and so I have to say, I guess they were kind of involved from the beginning. They taste test all of the bars that we prototype. They love it. They eat a lot of chocolate bars. You know, they definitely feel like Mama Bar is something they kind of get from that perspective because it's a product they do enjoy. So they're always sneaking those. I think that it's really become sort of a family activity. I try to involve them in the small things, like for example, my 5-year-old, my son, he likes sometimes he'll come and like help pack some of the items in there. You know, because it's fun, not because he needs to do that, but just he's curious, like, oh, mommy, what are you doing? You know, what is this? And I am also like, I try to be also very conscious though of compartmentalizing, you know, time and attention that I want to give solely to them, right? And time that I take for the business, time that I take for my partner, and time that I take for work. And so, as much as I also want to share the development of Mama Bar and all the stuff that's happening in my career with my kids, I also want to protect the time that I have with them. So I'm also kind of like striking that balance back and forth, and that's a journey in itself.
Wow. So they are learning entrepreneurship since the very early stage. Definitely, it's gonna be they're gonna be another entrepreneur from your family itself. So my what I can ask, my next question is like, uh, basically, last time when I got interviewed, I was asked women entrepreneur. Like, I told them there is nothing called women entrepreneur. It's an entrepreneur. There is no gender bias. How you see this point, and what are the advantages women have in the business?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think there are so many unsolved problems when it comes to being able to think about what your product or your service can do. There are so many unsolved problems for women. Mama Bar is one example, but I think that there are so many other aspects. Of my life and talking to my friends and family, women, where it's like you have a very unique perspective into half of the world's population, you know, their needs. And so I think when you think about your service and your product and what you're building, when you feel convicted that you are solving a problem that needs to be solved and that will resonate with basically half of the population, right? That is a really powerful thing. And so that has certainly kept us going, is feeling convicted that like, look, we understand this need, right? We hear it all the time. And just because it wasn't a loud voice before, you know, I felt like even if you rewind maybe 5, 10 years ago, the voice of mothers and women and their needs wasn't as loud as it is today, right? And so what we've done and what we're trying to do is amplify that voice and to create products which are really solutions to problems um, that are real that women face. And so I think that that is an opportunity as a female entrepreneur, is this amazing, unique perspective. And I do agree with you. It doesn't have to necessarily be so gendered, right? But if you find yourself searching for for some inspiration, I would say definitely look inwards and definitely look at the network of women that you have. But I think there's also a reality, which is if you look at the VC money, certainly, here in the States and in the Silicon Valley, that it is like a single digit number, the amount of money, I guess percentage wise that goes to women versus male entrepreneurs and male founders versus female founders. And so we have a lot of work. I think as women entrepreneurs, we also have an opportunity to support other women in the journey. And that's something that we try to do at Mama Bar is work with, our team is 86% women at last count, right? And it's partly, of course, because we really want to work with amazing, smart, talented women. But also many of these women came to us when we were looking to fill a need, uh, and they happen to be women. And so it is like very forefront for us is to, as we're on this journey, is to support other women entrepreneurs, because you do have to pave the way together, and there's still a lot of road to be paved.
Wow. So 60% of women contribution, women employees, you can say, or women partners or something like that. So 60% there is a contribution from women. That's fantastic. So wish you all the success to get into 80% very soon. My next question is like, we all face this issue in India because since you work with Microsoft, you are in such a position. You have to handle a whole AI team, and you have multiple tasks every day, multiple video calls during this pandemic. How your company supporting you for your entrepreneurship career? Why I ask this question is, in India it doesn't happen because even any entrepreneur, they have a side hustle. They might not tell to their company, or the company might not know what they are doing after the after office hours. So this is the scenario. So I want to know how Microsoft globally dealing with people who people are like you, having another career after the office hours. So how your office helping, or how, what is the scenario?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think Microsoft is fantastic at acknowledging the fact that if they're going to have highly motivated, super smart people working at Microsoft, those people's talents and their kind of yearning to do more extends across many parts of their life, right? And one of those things could look like having a side initiative, right? I say that like because businesses might imply like some competing things, right? But there's nothing competing about Mama Bar and Microsoft really that we found, right? It's about making sure that it's a lot of it is on me. It's actually not so much the company, but I think it can help the situation because I am very keen on making sure that am I delivering at my job at Microsoft. I have a really large role. I have a team of people that I manage. I Success there is immensely important to me because it is also the success of my team and people that work so hard, and the family that I have at Microsoft is very much my family. And so I try to be efficient with my time. I try to be, and I prioritize people. When I'm at work, it's connecting with people, making sure that they have what they need to get stuff done, that we're getting the right things done together, and so that there is no question of like, wait, could we have done something different? If Aarthy, is her mind somewhere else? I really am very conscious about, is my team set up for success? And even before Mama Bar, it's always been about that, right? It's making sure that the people around me are successful, together. And I talk about this with my manager team. I talk about it with the people that report to me. What could we be doing to make sure that we all feel really great. So we talk a lot about feelings. At least my team does. How are you feeling? What do you think? What's top of mind for you in that regard, so that can make sure that we're all on this journey together. Microsoft, and then we similarly at Mama Bar, it's a after hours kind of thing. It is a weekends thing. It is my hobby time, but that is part of what keeps me so inspired at Microsoft, and vice versa. Microsoft also inspires Mama Bar, so it's much more complementary. But I think that it is important to make sure that if you do have that day job, that you are and your team is accomplishing and feeling like you're really set up for success, right? And it's not coming at the expense of other things. It is very important to acknowledge that.
Wow, fantastic. So handling a job and handling a business is like set up for success. This is the first time I'm hearing set up a team for success. So you have a great team behind you. Obviously, you are a leader since beginning. I've known you the day you started working for Microsoft, and you called them as a family. Absolutely, it's your family. Fantastic. It's a great journey, and I'm super, super excited for Mama Bar. When I saw the first time Facebook page, that's how I come to know you started something, and I was stunnedly. First time it came to me, like, okay, we can this. I should talk to Aarthy. I should have a discussion into a whole new level. That's for sure. So it's a fantastic conversation, and we spoke a lot about family. We spoke a lot about business, changing in pandemic from a retail to online, and learning online tricks and tracks. So fantastic, Aarti. It's always good to catch up with you. And one last question is like, maybe I have two questions. One question is, when are you coming to India? Maybe I'm in Bangalore. When I was in Delhi, we couldn't meet up. So when are you coming to Bangalore, India, or Tamil Nadu?
Yes, I would love to. We were actually planning to come this year, and in March, right when the pandemic was hit,
Oh,
and the plans changed. And my son, my 5-year-old, he spends a lot of time with my parents. He loves everything from India. He loves, he dresses up. He does puja with my mom. He loves all the food. They're both. I think my son is even more, so excited about visiting India. He always asks me, "Mom, when are we going? When are we going?" So when the pandemic is gone and all the restrictions lift, I would love to come. He's also very excited about coming. So would love to meet you also in person. Long time.
definitely, definitely, yes. So one last question: who is your mentor? Because I believe someone should back up. Someone should put a pat on our shoulder. Okay, you're going correct way. No, no, you're going wrong way. Do this. So someone should be always there. Either TV personality or people in any part of the world. You can connect with them anywhere. So who are your mentors?
Yeah, I have to say, a lot of my mentors are senior men and women in the tech industry. I've gotten, thankfully, like a lot of exposure to some very accomplished people in the tech industry, being at Microsoft. And I think I've learned a lot about, their journey as well. Is always interesting. I think one of my most favorite mentorship moments, Lila Chachakov, she actually used to run Wikimedia, is the nonprofit that runs Wikipedia. And so she was in that role for a couple of years. She came to the United States from Russia as when she was 15 years old. She came by herself, and she worked hard. She went to Berkeley. She started a company. She then worked at Wikipedia organization, and she came to Microsoft, and she was my mentor And just to hear the story, she was also a single mother, and to hear the story of how she thinks about, prioritizing her time and what kind of impact she can have on real people. I think that that was fantastic for me. That was very, very impressive. At a time in my life where I really needed to hear about journeys that women were taking and they had taken. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of great mentorship. Some of it's harder with the pandemic, I think, to have that in-person connection, but it's also a good opportunity to reach out and say, can we hop on a video call? I'd love to get your thoughts on this, right? And in the startup world, we're actually having people reach out to us and saying, hey, I saw your company. I would love to connect because it's, similar to the mission that I have about supporting other women. And so I think we'll continue to meet many, many more mentors.
Wow, cool. So you are mentoring a lot of startups when the mission are matching. So fantastic. So I wanted to ask you one more question. Yes, what is the future of Mama Bar? Like what you have in your plates right now? How you want to take Mama Bar to the next level?
Yeah, absolutely. I think right now we're working on learning as much as we can from our initial customers about what they love about the product and the brand so we can amplify that. So, what are we doing well that we should continue doing? So it's really, I think the next year, I have to say, is about continuing to build that customer connection. Customers have asked for various things, whether that be uh, different flavors of the product or different ways they can buy it or things of that nature, right? Making sure that we're dialed into the customer and that we're delivering on things that our fans really love because the fans are representative of what's going to work at scale, right? And they are the ones that will be, as I talked about earlier, sharing this with their friends and family. And so a lot of it is about making sure that we don't get too caught up on the growth numbers, but that we do get caught up on the brand, really sort of the brand reputation. And are we building the right kind of product? Just as passionate as we are with getting the first one out, we talk to a lot of customers before we release the first product, that we continue to do that over the next couple of years.
Wow, fantastic. That's amazing. That's all. My questions are over. I don't have any other questions. Definitely a learning session. How to put an intent into the business. This is what Yes People Tainment is all about. We mix gratitude and then business. That's how you don't just run for money. You run for your intent. When you run for your intent, that is not tired, that is not exhausting. So that's how you're managing everything. You are a superwoman, I guess. Managing two kids, family, Microsoft, everything is like AI, Microsoft AI. So fantastic, Aarthy. It's a lovely conversation. Thank you so much coming on board with S People Tainment. I look forward for the wish you for an amazing future with Mama Bar into the next level. Plus, looking forward for many collabs like this in the future as well.
Thank you so much. And I have to say, Yes People Tainment and you have been over the years a big inspiration to me as well. So it definitely goes both ways. And I'm so proud to see how Yes People Tainment is growing and proud to be here today. So thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day for you. It's a good night for India. Have a great day for you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.